Well, hello there my beautiful friend, welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, my name is Bettina and I'm a makeup enthusiast. In this video I'm doing my October update on my Pan Those eyeshadows. I have another roll out which I'm very excited about. I've hit pan on another eyeshadow, and if you are new around here, I hope you would consider subscribing down below before we get into the video so you can keep up to date on all my future content. And without further ado, let's jump on into it. Okay, so again, not like amazing progress, but I did hit pan on something, so we're like sitting in the middle when it comes to progress. This is my Kaleidos Cyber Bronze palette, and I'm working on the color Plasma. I really like the Kaleidos formula, don't get me wrong when I say this, but I have not been using this one all that much. I think I've only used this one another one time this month, so it's the silver color here. I just find it difficult to incorporate into my everyday routine. Had I have gotten like one of these mattes or maybe even this one, I probably would have panned it like months ago. However, just the fact that it's a silver and it's just not the most work appropriate shadow. So when I wear this, it's like on the weekend or as an inner corner, or I have to layer it over something. So it is a little bit more difficult to use. Just not getting the greatest progress on it. But I do hope, I think I've left my dash probably a little bit too late on this one. I was hoping to at least just have it panned by the end of the year, but I've probably left it a little bit too late to try and really focus in on it. I think even if I focused in on it, I probably wouldn't get enough uses out of it to get to the pan. Next is my Certified Dynasty palette, and I think this one's going to be very close. I've got a very good dip going in it. I actually used this one today with my Kat Von D Alchemist palette, or my KVD Alchemist palette, over the top of a nail polish that I have in my project pan to create like this kind of multi-chrome nail, which I really enjoy the look of. So I think I might do that maybe another 1 or 2 times before the end of the year, just because I really enjoy how it looks. And then if I wear it as an eyeshadow a couple more times as well, I think I'll get to the pan. Like the dip's getting really quite deep, I think. So I used this one 2 times this month, so I did up my progress just a little bit. So I am getting a bit of a dip going on there. Oh, there we go. You can see it like right there, right in the middle. The dip is coming through. So I'm at 7 uses in total. I want to try and maybe get this one up to, I'm being very ambitious when I say this, but I want to try and get it up to maybe 10 uses before the next update. With another, that'll only be another 3 uses. I think with another 3 uses, the dip is just going to get deeper, and I might have hit pan or even be really close to hitting pan on it. I'm making very slow but reasonable progress on this one. Slow and steady wins the race. Isn't that what they say? I am definitely the tortoise when it comes to shadows like this in my Pan Those eyeshadows. Next we might do the really messy one. That is my Glaminatrix Sandra Rose palette. In this palette I'm working on the color Petal. I'm actually doing I don't want to tip it too much because it's basically all loose in there. I'm actually doing a really good job, I think, of getting this one neatened up and tidied. The rest of the palette still looks like an absolute shit show, but that shadow in particular is starting to look really nice. I have had to actually go in with my spatula just in the last couple of days and like break up a few more of the chunks. I might even have to do it again because there are some like fairly large chunks in there, but I am getting the pan cleaned up. I don't think I will see pan on this one by the end of the year, but it will definitely be a lot cleaner by the end of the year. Maybe I might have to, I don't know. I've got this purple one down the end here that's all cracked and shattered as well. So the rest of the palette is still like in good condition, but for the color Petal, just like going everywhere. So when I get the fragments cleaned up a little bit, I might try and I don't know, go in with some tape or something and just get up all the other loose bits of petal that are currently sitting on the other shadows. So that's my plan. Like I said, this one was more just I want to clean it up. I don't really think I'm going to hit pan on it. I just don't want to waste it because it is a pretty shadow, and I've been pairing that one with my Sydney Grace liquid eyeshadow that I have in my Partners in Cream, and it looks really, really pretty. So that one I used another 6 times this past month. So I think that's pretty good effort. The next one is my Saharan 2 palette. In this palette, I'm working on the shadow to Czar. That's this brown one down in the corner here. And you can see that dip coming through. I love it when you guys can see the dip on camera. It's just so satisfying. So this past month, I used this another 6 times. I'm sitting at 20 uses on this one. I do think that I'm going to have to get up like around the 30 maybe to 40 uses before I get really close to hitting pan on it. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that before the end of the year. I'm sitting at 20 uses, so I need to like double that, or maybe I could do like 10 uses each month. Maybe that's a decent goal. I could do 10 uses before each update. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a crack. I'll see how I go. And then my Makeup Geek shadow in Chickadee. I used this one 3 times this past month. You can see a little bit of a dip coming through on there. Not as deep as I was hoping it would be by now. I've used this one 12 times, and these Makeup Geek matte shadows normally take up around like the 50 to 60 uses for me to get pan on. So I don't think I'm not gonna have pan on this one by the end of the year. This one might be one of the ones that I just grab out first thing in 2022 to try and hit pan on, because I'll have some decent progress on it ready to go. It might be a little bit of like a give me shadow early in the year, which is always motivating, because sometimes the start of the year with project pans, it takes like 2 to 3 months sometimes to see progress on products. So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a give me product. My next Makeup Geek shadow that I'm working on is Starry Eyed, and you can see the dip on that one as well coming through in the center there. I've used this one 6 times in total, so only 4 times this last month, which is a little bit disappointing, but I think for only 6 uses, it does have a decent dip. I will say this was one of my like OG favorite shadows that I would wear all the time. So I did have a bit of progress on it before it even rolled in. I'm hoping that goes in my favor, and it might be of assistance to the fact that I get pan on this before the end of the year. Hopefully. Crossing my fingers and toes. My last Makeup Geek shimmer shadow that I hit pan on was my Grandstand, and that took me 28 uses to hit pan. That one had not as much usage on it before it was rolled in as this one did. So I'm hoping that maybe, given that I used to use this one all the time, that I won't have to get it up to the 28 uses before I see pan. But I'm at 6. If I could maybe double that, maybe a little bit more before the next update, I think I'll be getting close. I think I'll be getting close to the pan. My shadow that I rolled in last month was from my Urban Decay Naked 3, and I rolled in the color Limit, and I think I've made I've made really good progress on this one. I've been focusing my brush like about here. I've made really good progress on this one this month. I've used this one 12 times, and that's mainly because I was pairing this one with the shadow that I've panned and my Sydney Grace liquid eyeshadow over this past month. I made like massive progress on my Sydney Grace shadow this past month, and that's partly contributed to it pairing really well with this shadow and the next shadows. It's got a decent dip. I think that it might be probably not the next update, but the finale when I will see pan on this one. I have actually panned a Urban Decay Naked shadow before. One in my, I think let's have a look. I think my Urban Decay, yes. So my original Urban Decay actually has 2 pans in it. So I've panned these 2. And they weren't actually all that difficult to hit pan on. So I think we'll get pan like fairly easily on this one. And last but not least, I need to show you the shadow that I have panned. And if you've been playing along at home, you know that it is my Inglot shadow in 290. You can, oh, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see the pan. It's only like really tiny. Hopefully it shows, oh, there it is. You can see a tiny little bit. It will definitely show up in the close-up photos that I take. It took me another 8 uses to hit pan on this one, so it was a 22 uses in total. I will say in particular with this shadow, I found that I got to a point where I was making more progress because I figured out a way to use this shadow. This shadow was extremely firmly pressed, so I really had to kind of jam my brush in there. I had to get like a bit of a stiffer brush that could really like agitate the pan to be able to pick up any of the shadow, because it was just so firmly pressed. With like a fluffy brush, it was like hardly even picking anything up. So that's how I managed to hit pan on this one. I enjoyed the shadow, but it wasn't the best to work with, and I think it was because it was so tightly packed. It was just a little bit patchy and just not the easiest to work with, and I do think it's attributed to the fact that it was so firm in there. That's my update on my pan those eyeshadows. I don't know whether I'm going to have pan on any shadows next month, but I think by the finale I might have maybe like 1 or 2 pans. And as I said last month, normally I will roll in another shadow to replace the ones that I hit pan on. Last month though, I decided was the last month that I was going to roll in a new shadow. Now I'm just like dropping my numbers each month, and if I hit pan on all of my shadows before the next update, I'll have like December off. But I don't think that's going to happen. Normally I do 8 shadows, so normally I roulette 5 and I pick 3 myself. But now I'm just going to drop the numbers as I hit pan on a shadow up until the end of the year, and then I will start with a clean slate in January. I'm hoping that I can hit pan on at least 4 of these shadows. So I'm hoping, I think I can definitely get the Urban Decay Naked with a pan on the shadow limit. I think that I can do the Juvia's Place one. I'm very hopeful on this one. Certify shadow I think has very good potential, and also my Makeup Geeks Starry Eyed. I think if I make this one a priority, I can definitely have pan on that one as well. So potentially another 4 pans before the end of the year. And that's probably being extremely ambitious, but I think I can reach my goals. Let me know down in the comments box how you are going on any of your eyeshadows that you're focusing on, or if you're doing like a roulette project where you're focusing on a different palette each day in your collection. Let me know how that's going down in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I also hope that you consider subscribing while you're down there to keep up to date on all my future videos. You can also join my membership if you would like access to extra perks on this channel. And that's it. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy and looking after yourself. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.